Hey there, it's Amanda with the Pretty House team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty coming to you for my live. I believe that it's 2 o'clock. I'm sure that it's 2 o'clock. Coming to my live for, oh my gosh, Zillow stopped iBuying. What does that mean? Is the crash coming? Is the crash here? Is it crashing? What's happening? So obviously you guys know I've been doing my 30 days, 30 questions in 30 seconds, but everything kind of came to a big screeching halt yesterday when I didn't have to sort of go through what my buyers and my sellers had been asking because I got so many phone calls, so many text messages, so many emails about, oh my gosh, did you see this article? Oh my gosh, did you see this text? Oh my gosh, did you see what happened? What's going on with Zillow? Why did they stop iBuying? Is this the crash? It was crazy. Like, I just thought maybe 1 or 2 people would text me, but it was like really exciting. First of all, to think that anybody actually thought I would care and know what's going on was really flattering. It means that obviously me giving away free information is helping. And then the other thing was I was super excited to talk about this. So I stayed up till all hours of the night last night and I did a whole bunch of data pulls because I can come on live and I can tell you my opinion about the market. I can tell you that it's still a seller's market. I can tell you about record low interest rates. I can tell you, feelings and thoughts. But quite honestly, if you don't have data to back up your feelings and your thoughts, then your market information is just a bunch of hullabaloo. And because Palm Harbor isn't a city, and because the Pinellas Board of Realtors only does statistics based on the entire county, it takes a little time sometimes for me to generate the data in order to be able to tell you what's going on in North Pinellas. Because a lot of people went on this morning and they were like, oh my gosh, here's the market update. Well, that market update was like 2 months old and it covered the whole county. So it didn't specifically speak to North Pinellas, which is the area that I service. So when I talk about iBuying and Zillow in this live, it will be about the areas of Tarpon Springs, Eastlake, Palm Harbor, Dunedin, and Oldsmar and Safety Harbor. Those areas are the areas that I service and they're the areas that I track my data on. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, and this won't be very long, is I talked about last week about Zillow had paused. It was either last week or the week before. They had paused on iBuying. And I talked about why. Why did Zillow pause on iBuying? And now they've canceled the whole program. So they paused on iBuying for a couple of reasons. One, inventory is really, really low. So if you're going to be an investor and a flipper, you need to find deals. And if there aren't deals to be had, then there's nothing to buy. The other thing that has changed is that there's a little bit of a labor shortage. So Zillow needs to buy houses for really, really affordable, and they need to be able to get workers in there to flip them really, really quickly to get them back on the market, to capitalize on the lack of inventory. If they don't have laborers and prices of houses that need renovation aren't that much lower than houses that are already renovated, there's no way for Zillow to go. Also, I have seen a couple of properties close with Zillow that were listed high already, but Zillow went in and paid that price. And they paid that price, and then when they came back to market, the listing sat. Like Zillow's average days on market in North Pinellas is like 34 days, which is a lifetime right now compared to, regular resales on the market. So why did Zillow turn off the faucet, and what does that mean for our market? So first, let's talk about our market and Zillow in our market, okay? So some of the statistics I can't drill down on because there's just nowhere for me to pull that data. But I'm gonna tell you that in Pinellas County, there's about 500,000 houses. That doesn't mean single family home, it means condo, townhouse, house, mobile home as well. So in the county, there's about 500,000 houses, places where people reside, okay? I mean, we could say for quick math that half of that probably lives in the north part and half lives in the south, but that's just to give you perspective when I start talking about Zillow owned properties. So when it comes to Zillow, I went into our tax assessor's website and I pulled an advanced search on the zip codes in the areas of North Pinellas. And in the tax assessor's site, as of today, Zillow owns 72 properties in North Pinellas. Okay, so let's just let that sink in again. Zillow, as of today, in our tax assessor's website in the North Pinellas zip codes, owns 72 properties. So while that's a lot, like if you were Jerry down the street and you owned 72 properties, that would be a lot. It's not thousands and thousands of houses. Following me so far? Okay. I then went into the MLS and I pulled everything Zillow either has on the market, has under contract, or has sold in the last 180 days. And so there are 28 properties that are either on the market, under contract, or sold where Zillow is the seller. Okay? So if we take the number of properties that Zillow currently owns, 72, and we take out the number of properties that they're currently marketing to people, we get 44 left. So in theory, if Zillow keeps at their regular pace and they never buy another property, we would see 44 properties come to market from Zillow when they're ready. So again, just highlighting that it's not thousands and thousands and thousands of houses. I sometimes think that people think Zillow owns thousands of houses. They don't. They owned 72 as of last night. So that's a couple of statistics to sort of keep in mind. Of the 28 properties that are on the market by Zillow right now, 8 are active. That's not a lot of listings. 10 are pending, and then obviously 10 are sold. So that's the last 180 days with Zillow. So it's not this crazy bonanza where, you know, they have like 70 properties on the market. I mean, they have 8. I know other investors that have more than 8 properties currently on the market. The other thing to keep in mind is in the last 180 days in the entire county, not just where I like drilled it down to our zip codes, in the entire county, there were only 180 properties that Zillow owned that were either listed, under contract, or sold in the entire county, with over 500,000 houses in the county. So what does that mean? It means, I mean, you could draw a conclusion that even if all of the 72 properties that Zillow currently owns come to market as, you know, bare bones giveaways, that's not going to create a crash. Keep in mind, Zillow isn't the only iBuyer in the game. I mean, iBuyers are everywhere. There are not a ton, but there are several large private equity firms that iBuy all day long, and we never talk about them. They own way more properties than Zillow does in our marketplace. Also, you know, Mark Spain, which is Open Door, is still buying. Open Door is still buying. OfferPad is still buying. I heard a video or a radio ad for one of the teams that's still buying. And there's a lot of realtors that also are iBuyers. I mean, they're not officially iBuyers because they do go to the property. But there's a lot of, you know, the bigger teams that one of their areas of selling is that they offer to buy your house if they can't sell it. And that's, I mean, splitting hairs, but it's an iBuyer. That's what an iBuyer is. It's just somebody that's going to do it for you so you don't have to go to the market. So that's a little bit about what's going on with Zillow. I don't want to stay on too long. I got a ton of places to run off to. But yeah, so if they owned thousands of properties in our market, I would have more concern that this is the sign of the end of times, but they don't. They just don't. They own 72 properties in North Pinellas as of today. So if you were hoping I was going to come on here and I was going to tell you to get ready to get your money out of the bank and hide it under your mattress because the sky is falling, unfortunately, I don't feel like that's going to happen. Do I think things are going to slow down? Sure. It's fourth quarter. Things always slow down in fourth quarter for single family homes because people typically don't want to move the week from Christmas to New Year. That's pretty normal. People are putting up their tree. They're singing some Christmas carols. They don't want to be moving. So typically in fourth quarter, we slow anyway. So I'm not super concerned about that. So questions, comments, concerns. Do I think Zillow will come back? Yeah, I do think they'll come back to iBuying. I do. Okay. Why did they overpay? Okay, so somebody just asked, why did they overpay on some of the properties? So Zillow's not here in the marketplace. To my knowledge, your Zestimate, there's no such thing as a Zestimator. So I've never had a Zestimator come to my house. So if a Zestimator was out and about in the marketplace, they could look at a property and be like, yo, this property is not worth that. But there are some houses that are situated around really big, really nice houses, and Zillow doesn't know that. So they just look right in the immediate area. They don't know the difference between Kent Place and another street. So sometimes those estimates off, and then they end up overpaying when they do make you the I offer. So that's my opinion. I think Zillow will be back. There aren't enough properties in North Pinellas that Zillow owns to cause me to think that we need to all get ready for a fire sale. Interest rates are still crazy low. We're still seeing multiple offer situations. Sellers, I do see more properties coming to market and sitting for longer. It's really my only indication that a slowdown might be coming. But again, I don't think there's going to be a crash. I think it's going to be a plateau or a slow. The other reason I don't think there's going to be a crash is because I don't see the scary mortgages like we had in 2008. We don't have the like getting cash back at the table for a buyer. We have very traditional financing right now. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm always available to you. And as always, if you have anybody that is interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate in North Pinellas County, I would be honored to help them. And also, just so you know, I do have a network of pretty badass realtors around the country if you're thinking about buying a second home or moving. Make it a great day, guys. Bye.